always makes for interesting viewing when you have these such massive names going under the hammer, of course, and teams trying to figure out who their key players are going to be as well. But Nikhil, it's not going to be about the key players this time so much because it's only a limited auction in the sense of only 1 year contracts. Perhaps teams will be guarded. Why should we spend that kind of money only for one season? But there is a lot of cash incentive. There's a lot of brand value associated. You could always see a surprise where teams say, okay, let's just ensure that we get this title with a great team.
Well, of course, you'd want to go out there and win, looking to win the competition, and you're only looking to strengthen your weakness if you have any particular weaknesses in your side, in your arsenal. Teams looking for medium pacers, they'd say, well, we need an out-and-out match-winning fast bowler if they feel that somebody can go out there and do the job for them. So, they'll be looking for that fast bowler or a particular batsman, or the all-rounders have got great value in this format of the game also. So you're only looking to strengthen your weaknesses. You're absolutely right. You're not going to be, going all out to spend money. And more or less, most of the sides have got their compositions pretty much in place. You're probably only looking for that one additional player in the 11, if you think, or in the squad, because you've already got squads of 25, 30 people in there with each and every franchisee.
Absolutely. And this time as well, with some players being retained, there's a limited cash sort of purse which the teams have. So let's just see what their strategy will be. Joining us now also for a ground report is Headline Swiss Priyambada. She's at the hotel, of course, where the auction will be carried out in a short while from now. Priyambada, just give us a sense of the buzz that you've been witnessing. Of course, lots of high-profile team owners, players. Some of them are captains and coaches. Just take us through what you've been witnessing.
Well, it's going to begin short while from now. Around 11 a.m. is when the auction will begin. Yesterday, we saw 114 guests, including Shilpa Shetty, Ambani's, Malia's, and all the top Dravid, all the top players. A lot of owners had flown into Chennai. Some of them had come in their private aircrafts, and all of them are here right now. A short while from now, the auction will begin. So it's definitely it's anxious moments probably for the players who are yet to be picked up. But like we know. Michael Clark and Ricky Ponting could be the two important players whom or probably most of the important teams are eyeing at. So it's going to be definitely a grand event here in Chennai, and I think towards late afternoon, we'll know who have been picked up for what price. But one team that's quite steady and happy with who they have is probably Chennai Super Kings.
Absolutely. The Chennai Super Kings will also always be closely watched. There's Captain MS Dhoni. And of course, the number of titles they've already won in the Champions League, T20, the league itself. And Priyambada will also keep getting us live pictures from inside that auction venue. But let's start talking about the team as well, Nikhil. Let's start talking about first up, the Hyderabad Sunrisers, what their strategy is going to be, what kind of funds they have at their disposal. The graphic there on your screens, 37.23 crores. So of course, no dearth of money. But whether they'll sort of loosen their purse strings so much is something which you'll try to sort of, still watch out for. This is just one season to go.
Well, true, and I think they might go in for somebody like a Ricky Ponting because they need a leader at the top. With some experience, they'd obviously want to go out there and do well in the competition. And, they've got Dale Steyn, they've got Ishant Sharma, these are the guys who are already there. But looking at the spin department, maybe they're looking for RP Singh, another fast bowler who's an Indian rank, because the core group is 7 players in your side. So if you get another Indian player whose quality, don't forget RP Singh, the first inaugural year was the highest wicket taker in the IPL.
Yes. So
he understands this format. He's a fantastic bowler when it comes to T20 cricket. So they're probably looking at, all and out pace bowling attack, something like what the Daredevils have done. But I have a feeling in this particular auction, the biggest spender might be your Sunrisers to try and regroup their composition on the side and to try and do well in that first year to get that impact. You're playing first time around in the IPL just to create that buzz and impact for your team. They'd probably be the biggest spenders.
And it's just still a very young league, isn't it? I mean, this is into its 6th season. There's still teams being, drafted in, drafted out. There's still a lot of edges being ironed out. Let's also talk about now the Chennai Super Kings are the most formidable units that you'll come across in this kind of format, not just in India, but across the world, as they've proven with their performances. 16.6 crore rupees, as far as Nikhil, their funds are concerned. But you were mentioning how they'll also be going after RP Singh. He's going to be one of the top picks for them.
Well, yeah, I think they need to go out there and bolster their pace bowling attack, because don't forget, they had Dougie Bollinger. He's back in the fray, so they've obviously released him. It's the pace bowling department for the Chennai Super Kings that they'd want to go out there and pick somebody, out and out fast bowler who can win them games single-handedly. Otherwise, I think they've got a fantastic unit, and Mahendra Singh Dhoni in that fray, Suresh Raina, 2 fantastic match winners. All they need is somebody who can go out there and deliver with the new ball.
Absolutely, and that's something that they've been able to do as well. Hang on to their core team. I mean, be it retaining players, being it letting them go in auction once again, but bringing them back. That's something that they work towards very seriously. Let's also talk about the other big teams in the fray here. What kind of money they have at their disposal. Delhi also, have always been one of the more consistent teams out there. But not so much with the funds available this time, with players being retained 7.52 crores. You don't expect them to go all out market.
No, I don't think so. Well, because Kevin Peterson, the number of games he's going to be playing, they're going to be seeing number of players that they've got available for the full season or not, if they're looking for replacements. So I don't think Daredevils is going to go all out.
And they did that well last time around, where they ensured that the roster was always, full of some star players, even if there was international duty.
Well, they've got somebody very smart who's looking over the cricketing strategies, Mr. Shekhar, now at this moment in time. So he's one man who's very particular. The number of players that you've got available, who's going out, do we have suitable replacements coming in? Because you had Jayawardena coming in and then Kevin Peterson leaving. So everything was, working pretty well for them. You need smart people there. Because of the international calendar, you must identify some of the problems that most teams had initially on were with the English players.
Yes.
Because their county season starts right in the middle of the IPL. So some of their players are only available for what, 4, 5, 6 games at the max. Some of the English players, otherwise 2, 3 games. And then you feel, wow, we had a match winner out there in the middle and he has to leave all of a sudden, and then you have nowhere to look. So you got to be a little smart when you go out and pick and build a side.
Well, always, of course, a team that Nikhil also closely watches, the Delhi Daredevils, both of us Delhi guys, but let's just see if, the Delhi team is able to do well this time around. Let's talk about the Kolkata Knight Riders as well, defending champions. Of course, lots of controversies last time, thanks to their high-profile owner, Shah Rukh Khan, but at the end of the day, walking away with the championship. Middle rung here, as far as their funds available are concerned, they've got 9 slots, which they've already filled for overseas players, 2 slots left to go, 10 domestic slots which they can fill up, and that's something which will be very interesting, because some of these mid-level international players, Nikhil, you look at that price tag there, 53 lakhs, 23 lakhs, players who can do a bit of this and that are something they'll perhaps be going after.
You've got out now a fast bowler in Jerome Taylor, who's available, and also Bravo. And I have a feeling with the Knight Riders, they've always gone for players who can, deliver with the ball as well as the bat. People who can hold their own when it comes to all-round ability. So I have a feeling that the KKR side might just go in for Bravo.
And important for them to also build on what they've been able to do so far, because it's been a sort of seasons after season of expectations, but they've delivered last time. Important they go forth.
They had one of the best sides in the initial start of the tournament, but then somehow they unfortunately didn't do pretty well. Last time around they won. Now the expectations have grown. They need to keep adding on to their strengths, and they try and play according to your potential. So in that regard, a couple of missing links. I feel they need miss a quality all-rounder. That just might be the case for Bravo.
Royal Challengers Bangalore always have been sort of right up there and faltering at the final stage, the semi-final stage. Now perhaps is the time when they need to rally together and ensure the results keep coming for them.
Well, it's important, when you've got your match winners, for some of the guys right at the top, at least in the top 3, that to go out there and build the game for you. With the RCB in the last couple of seasons, they've had their fair share of problems in terms of batting. Whereas international cricket, Virat Kohli was a revelation. But come the season 5 for the IPL, unfortunately, he couldn't go out there and deliver, and that hurt them. So they need an able 4-5, and the Scott Starris is one man that they might go and look for. Somebody who can bat and look to play about 14-15 overs, and everybody else bats around. You need somebody who can go and play sheet anchorman. Otherwise, you've got all these guys who can go and play the $1 million shots. But at the end of the day, sometimes you need to build on partnerships also.
They've lost a mentor as well, as far as Arun Kumble is concerned. Let's just see how that impacts their strategy going forth. Let's also talk about, well, the Pune Warriors has been, of course, one of the newer teams. They'll, of course, also be missing someone who's been a role model for them in sort of Ganguly this time around. He'll, of course, be playing cricket expert for us, not so much the cricket for the Pune team. Yuvraj Singh is someone they can perhaps look to for taking that leadership role on, Nikhil. But, as far as their overall team structure is concerned, you think Michael Clarke as well figures as one of their leadership potentials?
I have a feeling that Yuvraj Singh might go and do the job, because Michael Clarke was part of the squad. They've released him, and They've got a fantastic bunch of Indian stars.
Yeah.
You know, people like Robin Uthappa, there's Pandey in there, Yuvraj Singh. They've got some quality players in there. They just need quality leadership now. And I think Yuvraj Singh is ready. He's hungry. He wants to go out there and do well in each and every single game, whether it be the IPL, whether he's playing for India, whether he's playing a local domestic tournament. He wants to go out there and win games single-handedly when it comes to batting. And I think Yuvraj Singh this time around, hopefully, can turn things around for the Pune Warriors.
Let's also quickly run through Rajasthan Royals, a team, of course, which was the winner in the inaugural edition. After that, has since not been able to reclaim lost glory. Look at that purse as well, 30.8 crores. Certainly have the money at their disposal, but as an overall team structure goes, they need to get it in order now.
Of course. Never big spenders, never gone for players with big names. They didn't want to, go out there and fight for players with 2.2 million or 3 million players. They've always gone with smaller names, but people who give 100% commitment, and that's why initially on Shane Warne did a fantastic job. They won the initial tournament, but the important thing now is they should be looking for a quality fast bowler. Sean Tate is one bowler. If he gets things right, he can rip apart any unit. But the important thing is he hasn't had the best of seasons in the last couple of times. He's spraying it all over. And in T20 format, you spray it. A couple of boundaries
and you go for runs.
Then the opposition catches on momentum, and then you have a problem getting the side back.
We're talking about sort of leadership role. You've got Mumbai Indians there as well. About a little over 12 crores is what they have at their disposal. Sachin Tendulkar is going to be captaining that side again. So something that they can use to move forward.
A huge inspiration, without a doubt. When you've got somebody like a Tendulkar going out there and leading the side, and he's one man who's always looked to lead from the front.
And now with plenty of time on his hands.
Plenty of time, and I think he'll have more sort of a role how he's going to be batting out there for, say, 12, 14 over. Everybody else is batting around them. He'll be spending time with the youngsters. What are their strengths and weaknesses, how you can go out there and win games, strengths and weaknesses of the opposition. So it'll be a completely different role for Tendulkar. And one man with that kind of experience, I'm sure a lot of youngsters being part of the Mumbai Indians will benefit a lot.
Top Indian players in the fray that perhaps the teams want in their ranks. And some of these players will be the most sought after. You agree with this list, Amaya?
Well, Abhishek Nair, part of Mumbai Indians, of course, Indian players will always go for plenty because you need 7 players to make that side. I think, but the biggest pick for me in this entire auction with 108 players or whatever they are is going to be RP Singh. Because of the quality he brings on the table, somebody who's done well in this format will, I think, go for a lot more than his base price. Abhishek Nair is one person, goes and bats lower down the order. I won't be surprised if he goes for Rajasthan Royals or maybe the Sunrisers this time around. He's done well for the Mumbai Indians, but got limited opportunity because for the Mumbai Indians, you had a huge side.
Yes.
So he probably didn't get enough opportunity, but sides like maybe Rajasthan Royals and maybe Kings 11 might go for him, but RP Singh was going to be a biggest pick.
And, with that 50 odd lakh price tag, certainly makes him one of the more interesting picks as well. Let's talk about the international players as well. Nikhil, always very interesting because, the combination that you go out with in your international players, be it what they can do, their overall ability, what they can do in terms of their leadership, skills. Look at that. All three of them have, tremendous amount of leadership qualities about them.
Michael Clark, I'm not so sure because Aditya, he's not playing the T20 international version also. He's hung his boots there. But to me, for the Sunrisers, I think Ponting is one man who can go out there and do the job for them in terms of leadership. He doesn't have too much motivation to go out there and, prove anybody or anything. But just in terms of experience and leadership quality that he's had over a number of years, I think they need somebody to lead from the front, and Ponting just might be the case for the Sunrisers.
Well, always about getting a bargain as well. This is the market after all, and players who come at about a bit of a discounted price, but essentially can deliver the goods. Ryan McLaren out there, very important with his performances with the Mumbai team. Tisara Pereira as well can bowl with a lot of pace and guile.
Pace and guile, and he's one man who got the kind of variations that you need in this format as well. And Pereira is somebody who's done well in the T20, in the international version also. From the subcontinent, players with quality, I have a feeling will always fetch you more because they understand the conditions a lot better in comparison to some of the overseas players.
Alright, so 11 is when the auction kick starts. We'll get you live pictures and date details. Most certainly, Nikhil Chopra will break down the situation for us. Thanks so much for joining us.